intentions. If they say it, believe it. If they tell you, believe it. What do I mean? If someone tells you they'll hurt you, they'll hurt you. Remember, it's not when you spill water from a cup or from a glass. It's not the glass that you have that is the most valuable in that point. It's what's in the glass. It's not the tea. It's not the cup of tea. It's the tea inside that pours out. That's what you'd be more annoyed because you can't drink the cup. You can't drink the glass. It's the water inside the glass. It's the tea inside the cup. So when someone says or does something intentionally and then claim any level of excuse, don't be a fool. If someone claims, for example, they cheated on you because they felt they did or knew all the circumstances, really, when they're told to pull this down or pull that down or touch here, really? If they come to your house or you go to their house and things happen, really? What were you doing? You had an option not to go to that house. You could have pulled away, decided not to go there. You go into that place, you go with a thought process. And then what do you call it? The intrusive thought starts kicking in. And you're like, hey, no one will know. When someone decides to steal something from you, they had it all in their head. That's why I always say, as much as we have prisoners and prisons, we have more convicts out here than the ones who get caught. Even when you look at school strikes, campus strikes, protests, where the people really get arrested? The behind the scenes, the ones who planned it all, and never get arrested. It's the ones who did not, now either those who listened or were not keen enough to understand the game being played. They're the ones who get cooked. Believe them when they say it. If someone, and this is something like even in the entertainment industry, they say, I'm a this, I'm a watch, I'm a gang, sometimes you just have to believe them. Because sometimes people say who they really are, but they just want to see, will you believe their words? And then, boom, PR comes in, saves the day. If they are a liar and have a track record of lies, what do you think putting them in a political seat will change anything? They will just upgrade their lies. If that man or woman has been in infidelity, what makes you think will bring them? Your prayers? Your love? Kids? Cars? Property? They will now cheat with the driver or the mechanic or whoever who maintains whatever property or things you have. You can't change someone. They have a choice. When someone has fallen down and you can see them down, there's a choice to lift them up. If you let them fall, it's who you really are. Sometimes it's because people don't get the chance to say who they really are, so they take a step back. It's like sometimes when in social media, within the comment section, you'll find a war among people. And then you realize you want to say something, and then like that person's getting cooked. For the things you wanted to say, so what do? You pull back. You're like, okay, let them get cooked. And sometimes people, just how they work. How many times do you stand up for something and it's affecting the same people around you, and you express, you didn't even know about it per se, you just express, and then later on someone calls and they said, oh, I thank you for speaking on our behalf. I'm thinking, hold up, there was our behalf. I thought I was alone on this one. How did we turn into our behalf? I thought we were not affected, but they were affected. They just couldn't want to be seen as part of what's going on. They want to have a good name, a good title. They want to be the good person. When they say it, believe it. So people are intentional. People don't do it because their leg, their heart, their hearts. People do what they do because they know what they are doing. So just because you forgive someone, and just because they act in ways that they have resented, they have accepted their flaws, it's okay. Shake hands and keep moving. Even Jacob didn't trust Esau, yet they had cried on each other. We are not told they went and lived with together. No one went to the mountain, then went to the other side. Yeah. Believe it when you see it. Sometimes it's hard because you're like, it can't be. But it happens. It happens. You know, sometimes you hear things people are doing out here to survive, and you're thinking, you didn't do that. They are. When someone is dying, or someone closer to most people do, they have their black or their white attire to come and cry crocodile tears at the funeral. By 4 p.m., they're driving back to their homes to go to a local and eat something. And then go home and say, hey, that man, that woman, that whoever it is was such a good person. Mind you, this person talking like that had such a big debt to clear to that person who's now deceased. But now, because that person is gone, they can now breathe and say everything's okay. Believe it when you see it. Sometimes it's hard. But it's hard because we want to believe that everything is okay. I mean, our Lord Jesus Christ, when he was dealing with Judas, he knew he was a betrayer. Judas had shown his character right through. At the alabaster oil, he showed his character. But how comes he was never brought into the close circle? Because once you know who you're dealing with, you shouldn't be a fool to think they'll change it because they're close to you. Don't believe the tears. Don't believe the emotion. Just look at them. They want to cry, give them a serviette. They want to whatever, give them water. Just feed them. But yeah, keep your distance, man. Have your boundaries, have your walls up. Because people do what they choose to do. I know not that I went to this trip and then I met this person and then it was rainy and then stuff happened. Nah, it was rainy, stuff happened. Okay, you could have, disengage or go to another place. No, there's only one room. You were told this one room, so you have to. Believe them when they say it. Yeah, so be smart enough not to be led by emotions. Let logic kick in. Because this world we live in, people are doing things intentional and they're looking for a scapegoat. And because you cannot pick the scapegoat, or you cannot be able to identify the true story of the scapegoat, you believe everything they say. Even the roosters don't agree with me. Yeah, the roosters just agreed. So, believe it when they say it. If someone is a prolific, or I don't know, I'm looking for the right word. They're just liars. They're just lies, and them are just, they will lie till kingdom come. You have a good person versus a bad character, and they're saying, I'd rather enjoy the bad character than come to the good character. Do you know these good characters will go through by the time you're coming to meet them again? You know? So we should be intentional and we should be honest with ourselves. And just because everything sounds right doesn't mean it is right. Just because someone is crying, please be careful. Yeah, there's a reason we call crocodile tears. Though I've never seen a crocodile cry, come to think about it. But yeah, just imagine crocodile crying at the same time to take you out. Don't ever let your guard down. It is when you are so much trust in someone, just know they're gonna break it. You shouldn't go with that mindset, but be open-minded. Give everyone a pinch of salt, because when they say it, believe it. So don't believe everything you hear or see. Do your own validation and have an open mind around it. They are honest people, they are true people, and they're toxic people, and they're narcissists. They are sociopaths, they have psychopaths, and they have empathetic people. Well, you won't know until you get to know them more, but when you start seeing those red flags clicking, yeah, you might want to buckle up. Decide, should I be part of this crazy journey, or should I walk away when I still have the chance? My bet is walk away when you still have the chance. Because once you are on that train or plane, whatever it is, when it starts that journey, you can't jump off on its own movement. So you still have the chance to run. If it's an abusive relationship, and then they start saying, oh, my father did it to me, my mother. Yes, they could have had, and it happens. You are brought up in a very abusive home. It happens. Sadly, it's so common nowadays. But that does not mean if your dad was a drunkard, you should be a drunkard. Or if your mom was a prostitute, you should be a prostitute. Or if your father and mother were abusive, you should be abusive. Yes, you might have the traits trying to crop up here and there, but you have a choice to say no. You have a choice not to be like the past that you raised from. You have that choice. You cannot say because I went through some very terrible ordeal, I'm going to use it. Just like the way serial killers will always say, I went through ABCD, which is very painful when you hear the background, but it doesn't justify the act of going to another innocent person and then carrying the weight on them and taking their life. Or you've been played, you've been cheated on, and went through all these ordeals, your hope, your demission. The way you say when you finish high school, maybe go to college, campus, work with that person, but man, out here is character development. You just see dust. And then you meet a good person. And then now, because you saw dust, now you want this other person to see dust. And then when they ask you, why are you doing this to me? Because when I open my heart to someone else, they did it. No, you have a choice. Drop what happened, learn from your mistakes, go through a healing process, but don't carry the issues of your ex, the issues of your past into another new relationship. You can't go with the same way you drove an old car and come and assume the new car will be having the same features. Or the way you had an old phone, you'll expect the new phone to have the same features. Everything comes different. Yeah, it's still a phone, but different features. So let's not excuse people's behavior because we want them to be right, but we deep down, something doesn't add up. If it doesn't add up, it doesn't add up. So confront it with wisdom, not emotion. Don't go arguing with someone in the kitchen. They'll take a knife and jab you with it. Don't go arguing with someone in a closed room. They will kick you with their fist. Be wise how you handle these situations because you never know someone until you're locked in a place where they know they have the upper hand. Then you're cooked. So if as much sometimes you might have the information firsthand, think carefully how you approach it, where you approach it, who you confide in that process. Because sometimes that best friend you have that you are confiding in could be the person who's the eyes of the person who you thought you're both against. But it's a tag team and you're alone. Be very careful. Believe them when they say it. Never let your guard down. It's when you think, when you doubt, when you're scrutinizing. It's painful to be right, but which one do you prefer? To be wrong or to be right? It's better to be right. Hurts. Take a painkiller. Take water. Scream your life away in your corner and then get back up and keep moving. Believe it when they say it. People are who they say they are, even when we don't want to believe it. It hurts, but it's life. Be strong, because you need it.